I mean, MSD was brilliant. He's one of the greatest wicketkeeper batsmen that the world has seen, one of the greatest finishers, not because of his technique, it's because of his mind.
For wicketkeepers also, life can get pretty lonely. Yeah, because you're standing around there. But it helps that, early in a ODI game or then in a test game, when you have some slips with you, somebody's standing around, have a little chat, right? So who are the guys you enjoyed having in the slips with you, whether it was Ranji, whether it was India, who are the guys who you enjoyed having a bit of a chat with?
One of the funniest things that ever happened was we were playing against West Indies, first test match, Guyana, and the team meeting, we were talking about how to handle Brian Lara. So one of the things that was said was, don't talk to him. I was like, what are you talking about? Say, no, he'll get bored and get out. I said, what? So every time, a spinner would bowl and I was there and Rahul was there in the slips and Brian would play a ball, he would turn around, would want to talk to me and Rahul, and we would turn our backs and look the other way.
That's insane.
I mean, listen, Brian Lara wants to talk to you and you turned your back to him. It's like, I'm not talking to you. So he would want to start a conversation, but nothing happening.
And this is not a sledging conversation he wants to start. He just wants to have a chat.
He wants to have a chat. He wants to talk. So that's the kind of batsman he was. He would like talking about his batting. He would want to talk about everything else. And actually that's exactly what happened right through the series. Brian didn't get a lot of runs there. So he would get bored and get out.
He has no friends. I have never heard that strategy about Brian Lara, and I've heard a lot of people talking about how to get him out.
Listen, you work with him. You spend time with him, right? He loves talking. I mean, if he's not sleeping, he loves talking.
He's an affable bloke.
Right.
Loves a laugh.
Exactly. Yeah. He loves his time going out and everything else. So he would love it. So we would talk to him off the field. But every time we'd come to bat, nobody's talking to him, man.
Who's the guy? So he's the guy you didn't talk to. Who's the guy you liked talking to when you were playing and the person was batting?
I would like talking to a lot of people. A lot of people. I mean, that's again part of our job. And the talking won't be directed at the batsman. So you try to play these psychological games. For example, a spinner would bowl and, you would say, what, square leg, come finer, he'll play the sweep and all that. You're not actually talking to the batsman. You're trying to put that thing in his head. He's going to play the sweep and all. So he's not going to play the sweep. Or you say, what, the whole mid-wicket is empty. Come on. You're talking to the bowler, right? You're saying, you can't bowl it there. He can slog sweep you over mid-wicket because that's exactly what you want the batsman to do. So you're trying to put those things in the batsman's hand. You know what? Yeah, maybe try and hit it over mid-wicket. Why not? Things like that. And then talk about, talk to the captain and say, you don't have a covers or put 2 covers. What are you doing, man? Or things like that.
Yeah.
You just try and get into the batsman's head. You're really not talking directly to the batsman.
And there was always MS who was quieter, but then MS towards the latter part of his career as a director, right? I called him as a director.
Yeah,
it's like, isko tu leg pe dal de, kabhi iski tang hil rahi hai. He was
and that's what
narrating a screenplay.
Yeah, that's what keepers do. I mean, that's the reason the bowlers need the keeper, because the keeper is right next to the batsman. You can feel what's going on.
Yeah.
You can feel the batsman getting a little jittery. He's going to try something out. You see him looking at a certain field position and, maybe he's eyeing that place now. So as a keeper, you always have that, peripheral vision. Right? And you keep informing the bowler about it. You keep doing that. And I know for a fact a lot of keepers do that. And now that the stump mic's on, I mean, Rishabh does that. I mean, at times when I'm on air doing commentary and Rishabh is keeping wickets, I stay quiet because it's interesting to listen to Rishabh saying
He does
stuff.
commentary.
Yeah, he does almost commentary.
He doesn't stop.
He doesn't. So it's some great chat. I mean, great chat. I mean, MSD was brilliant because you actually could get to hear stuff that he's thinking.
Yeah.
And what's happening out there. You get a very clear picture of what's going on right there in the middle. And he's brilliant. I mean, listen, he's one of the greatest wicketkeeper batsmen that the world has seen, one of the greatest finishers, not because of his technique, it's because of his mind.
The reader. He's a great keeper, great batsman. I think he's the even better reader of
Exactly. I haven't seen smarter brains. I'm not talking just about cricket. I haven't seen smarter brains than someone like MSD. The way he thinks, it's unbelievable, man.
When I think of wicket keepers and chatter, right?
Right.
I'll tell you what comes to my mind the first.
Yeah.
Is the word shabash, followed by the word sucklen. Right?
Yeah, even
Saki, shabash, Saki.
even the overseas guys have started shouting shabash nowadays.
They have. So I think it's also giving away my vintage a bit, right? Because that's the thing that comes to my mind the first one. I think wicketkeeper and chatter. Probably that's when I think stump mics were.
I don't know how much of the story is true, but I believe this happened when in Australian domestic cricket or some series, they started putting up the volume of the stump mic, and Gilly did not like it that much because he would say a lot of stuff which would be caught there. So he spoke to the broadcasters, and our broadcasters were like, no, we can't help it. This is how it's going to be. And I believe next morning, he started mentioning his sponsors.
Oh,
I
never heard this.
Yeah,
Yes.
he started talking
It's
about
true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So he started talking about his sponsors and how good they are and stuff like that. They had to put the volume down then.
For many more stories like this, join me on 22 Yarns, a Spotify original.